Hi.
So 15 years, you're kind of anticipating this end of a chapter and then COVID hits. And so you've got to pause between filming. Now, one of your castmates said that this is a great way to kind of savor that lingering feeling. Do you relate to that savor?
That was probably Misha, I'm guessing.
Yes.
I would say it's a valid point. I would add to that now and say that I've savored enough and I'd like to just get it done with.
Yeah, I think we'd like to stop savoring and start saving again for the last couple episodes. So
the savoring has gone on just enough that it's time to get back to. And apparently we that is on the horizon. We're not quite sure exactly when, but we do know that they are working diligently to kind of get us back so we can polish off those last 2 episodes. We were so close.
It was No, it's all right. It was like a really funny, we would talk about this for years, how Supernatural had been, and this is before we knew any end was in sight, but how it was kind of like a marathon compared to a sprint. And so it feels like you spent 15 years, running this race and you can see the finish line and they're like, hey guys, hold up a second, like go into the cafe, have a spritzer or a Topo Chico or something. And we'll let you know when it's time to finish. We're like, but it's right there. Like, can we just not finish it and get on with our lives?
But go into the cafe, stay 6 feet apart from people, wear a mask, and you can't leave.
Yeah. Sounds fun.
Yeah, no, it's great.
Favoring it.
Yeah.
I'm sure that there's a lot of things that you guys are obviously really emotional or sad to say goodbye to. Is there anything that you're stoked to say goodbye to, whether it's a costume item, a set to shoot in, a person?
I think I'll say this. What occurred to me is the travel. The travel sucks. Ackles and I have been on the phone today, yesterday, the day before, trying to figure out what travel looks like to go back there. We both have wives and kids and pets, and it's like, okay, so what do we do? Do we leave them in Austin? Do we take them with us? We have to quarantine. Do we quarantine with them? Will that be miserable? How do we get groceries? So the travel thing is not going to be missed. Though I'll speak for both of us. Vancouver's been a second home for him longer than for me. Because I've only been up there for 15 years now, as opposed to 20 or whatever you've been up there.
Almost 20, yeah.
Almost 20. But the travel, the city's amazing. The province and the country and the people are amazing. But I do miss sleeping in my own bed.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
What would you say to each of you that you've learned about yourself thanks to 15 seasons of Supernatural?
Ooh, that's a good question. I mean,
do this for a living, so that's good. Good feedback.
That's a good question. Well, we've had a lot of questions over 15 years, and some are very repetitive, which are fine. Mm-hmm. That one's that's a good one. I would say that there has been a laundry list of things we've learned, both about, I would say, each other and of each other and of one another. It's this has been, like Jared said, this has been quite a marathon, and there's not a lot of shows in the history of television that have gone for 15 years. So we have grown as individuals. Our lives have changed drastically in our personal lives. We have learned a lot. Speaking from a professional standpoint, things that I've learned is that I actually love to work. I love doing the work. I love the process. I love the camaraderie with the crew and everybody working together to create the best product that they can. I really enjoy that aspect of it. And I got into this, like Jared did, at a very young age, kind of not knowing what to expect or what I really wanted out of it. You can go in with the best of intentions, but really learning boots on the ground and learning on the job is what he and I have done. And it's been a really great education. And like I said, I think we've learned a lot, both about ourselves and about our passion and about what, things that have surprised us over the years have certainly come because of the show.
Yeah, I will, I'll second that. And I feel like, strangely, in these crazy times we find ourselves in, especially in this country, being shut down for so long, what Ackles said about learning that I love to work and I love the work. I think our COVID experience and quarantine experience has been kind of a reminder of that. You know, I used to always, and he and I would, you know, sit together after a long day at work or a long episode or a long season and be like, man, one of these days I just want to take a couple months, like do nothing. Now that that's all we can do, I'm like, give me a job. What can I do? Give me some work. Like, give me something.
What a humbling experience. Eh?
Big time. Big time.
So Jared, it's true that you met your wife on set, correct?
It is, yeah.
Jensen, I'm curious if in watching that unfold, you could tell that it was more than an on-set romance, or were you like eye roll, perving on the co-stars? Like,
both. It was both, actually. It was. Oh, Jared, get. I was like, get off the floor. She's reading right through this. And to be fair to Genevieve, she did read right through it, but she was still game. So. But it was certainly, there was an obvious smitten Jared that was happening, and it was happening not just before my eyes but before the whole crew. But to Jared's credit, he didn't care. He was like, I like her. So
Hearts in the eyes.
It apparently it worked.
Yeah, definitely worked. If there was a ghost or demon that came out behind me, good Lord, I hope it doesn't. We've seen enough this year. Who would be the best one of you to teleport to me? Not your characters, individuals.
Ooh, I'm going to go with Jared right now because his family's out of town, and I've got kids that'll probably. So that's that.
I'm free. Listen, you got something? Do you smell sulfur?
Yeah.
I don't. I have some internal demons, but okay, good to know that I would need to call on you if something goes awry.
You have internal demons? I've been possessed by Lucifer, so call me.
You win, hands down.
Yeah.
I'm curious if you guys have a message to your Kiwi fans, and I know that thank you seems to be the message that you guys give out a lot. New Zealanders really sunk their teeth into Supernatural during lockdown. And because you've gifted them with 14.5 seasons, it was the perfect bingeable show because it meant a lifestyle adjustment. Yeah. Do you have anything to say to us New Zealanders, some who have been obviously on the bandwagon for a long time and some who have just found your show?
Well, that's so cool. I didn't realize that. We've kind of been blissfully, ignorance is bliss. So that's really exciting. I've always loved my Kiwi friends, our Kiwi friends. We have a Kiwi friend in Vancouver who is one of the people we're talking to about how to get to Vancouver. She's been our friend, Ackles' friend since Smallville, I think. Mm-hmm. But I can't wait to get down there. I think we are more a fan of New Zealand than New Zealand is a fan of us. So excited to give back, I suppose. I think you mentioned, thank you seems rote. Or kind of like what you're supposed to say. But I think before thank you and more than thank you, we'll try and do you right. We're going to try and make sure that we give everything we got to these characters and to this story so that when you get the last 0.5 seasons, you're not disappointed.
Well, on that, so you guys, I'm assuming haven't shot the final, assuming you shoot in order. So you've got 2 more to go. Without giving away any spoilers, because then this will never see the light of day, without giving away any spoilers, how would you describe the season finale that you've read in 3 words each?
About to change.
Actually?
Yeah.
Actually, it may have to. It's going to have to be adjusted due to the constrictions. But I'll give it a 3-word description. Series wrap up.
Nice.
Like a nice little justified bow that we go, well done.
Yeah. Or is it?
Okay.
Yeah. Hey.
Well, is it true that one of you had a Game of Thrones esque situation where in reading it in its, I guess, original form, that it was a lot?
It was Ackles.
Yeah, I had a hard time kind of digesting the original pitch of what was going to happen, and it's still the basis of what the show is about, or what that episode is going to be about. But it was I stumbled over it for a while, trying to just digest it, and I think rightfully so. It was, the show has been very close to me and a part of me for 15 years. And any major change is going to be difficult to adjust to, I guess.
Yeah, I bet. Well, my time is limited, so I'm going to play a little game with you. It's kind of quick fire. So it's fast five. Here we go. Out of the two of you, you both get to answer. Who is the most particular or picky when it comes to craft services or catering?
I'm probably more picky. Jared eats like a horse, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I'm sort of an indiscriminate eater, so I'll agree with Ackles. I'll second that, Ackles.
Great. In the 15 seasons, or 14.5,
I will say really quickly, I will say that to that extent, I also was the guy that was laid up on my honeymoon in Peru because I just ate the local cheese and stuff. And so I was persona non gratis for a couple of days because I'm like, oh, what's that? That looks like it.
Being picky has its benefits.
Yeah, I've certainly paid for it. But yeah, sorry, next.
Good. In the 15 seasons, who has fallen asleep the most on set?
I'm a big napper. I think I do. On set, I don't know, but I certainly do sneak away for a nap. I would
say from being our call time to our wrap time, Jared has logged the most sleep hours.
Good.
That's a good point, because I think what he's hinting at is that offset, I probably wake up a little bit earlier, maybe.
I just know that you're the most talented napper I've ever met in my life.
I'm napping right now, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, he is asleep right now.
These are just goggles.
Who has been late to work the most?
Me.
Jared.
I know.
He was late to this.
Hey,
they told me it was technical issues.
I will say this: my computer didn't turn on, and then I couldn't get these damn things that I just bought today for this to work. But yes, touche.
That's all right. We're holding you accountable. Who's more of the Joker or the class clown?
I'm gonna go with Jared on that one too. Yeah. He's definitely the harder person to rein in.
Yeah, I'll agree with that.
And then lastly, to wrap up, to give you both enough time to answer this, what are you going to miss the most about acting alongside each other?
Oh, God.
I'll take it. I would say the ease in which it happens. To spend this long with somebody, working this closely together, we've really kind of developed a shorthand as far as the creative process goes. It happens so fast, and we find those beats so quickly. I think I'm going to miss that. I think working with anybody else, just the speed at which he and I are creatively in sync.
Yeah, I agree with that, and I'll do a variation of that because we've done so much together. I mean, I will admit that every now and again over the last 4 months and change, I've turned on one of our local stations that syndicates the show and turned on a few episodes, and a lot that I've completely forgotten. And I'll be like, oh man, we've done so much together. That another fun thing for me that is maybe the same coin, but a flip side of the coin with the ease, is that there will be times, and we have those times coming up in the next 2 episodes, where I read a script and I go like, man, this is going to be so easy to shoot with Ackles. But on the same coin, though, the flip side of it, I know I can push, give everything I got, and really, really play. Like if you're playing tennis with a partner and you don't trust them, or you don't want to push them too hard because you know they're not going to send it back at you just as hard, if not harder. You kind of pull back because at the end of the day, you have to make a product. But I know I can give everything I got to Ackles, and he'll send it back, tenfold, and the scene and the show will be better because of it.
That's really sweet. Well, thank you guys so much for your time. New Zealand is huge fans of yours and huge fans of the show. So I hope, and we hope, that you guys get to finish the season soon so we can all ingest it. Yum, yum, yum. And I hope the rest of your lockdown and quarantine is got a little slice of delight in it, knowing that you guys get to finish up and work together with each other soon.
Thank you, Kimberly, so much.